So if you just realize that we're not that far away from Q2 and you're not sure what to do, this one's for you. On this Mondays with Moriniki, I want to talk to you a bit about I think this is going to be like part one in a four-part series on recalibration and reflection, and specifically around the type of kind of reflection and calibration that we should be doing moving from one quarter into the next. And the reason I thought this was important to tee up is because something that I see people do every year is wait until the end of the year to try to get a sense of what went well. And in reality, because we have the saying hindsight is 2020, I want us to start applying that on a more regular basis. And so by that I mean not waiting until the end of the year when we have 12 months, although we should be doing it at the end of the year to be clear. But what I want us to start doing is taking that data and reflecting on it in shorter time spans. And so I think quarterly is a good time to be able to do that because at that point you have a few months of data. So you have enough time to see kind of what's working, what's not. But you're also not waiting until the end of the year because what happens then is like you don't have any opportunity to course correct, right? To make any type of updates and changes. And so when you do kind of this reflection and recalibration on a quarterly basis, you're then giving yourself the opportunity to kind of still reset, to retweak things, to figure out what's working, what's not, and make those adjustments so that you can still hit the things that are your priorities and goals for the rest of the year. Excuse me. And so, with that in mind, I want you to kind of just ask yourself a few things. It's like looking at Q1 so far, and depending on when you do this, you may be closer to literally the start of Q2. But like, what went well, like, and what didn't go well. And by that, I mean, looking at the goals that you set, like that you hopefully set for yourself, what's working? Are you on track? Are you hitting those milestones? And if not, what are some of the obstacles and challenges that you're running up against? And when you're looking at those types of things, you want to start to see like, is this something that I think is a one off or that's naturally kind of going to not spill over into Q2? Or do I think these impediments, obstacles, challenges are still going to persist? In which case, you need to then start strategizing about how do you kind of like minimize or mitigate the impact that they have in terms of slowing you down from accomplishing what it is you set out to do. You also want to start to think about like, um, are these still the same priorities that you had? So capacity is not constant and priorities are not permanent. And so what you set out at the top of the year saying that you wanted to accomplish was based on the factors, the circumstances, and your data at that time. But as things go on, life is life, things are happening, things shift. And so you want to have a moment and take an opportunity to really tap in to see like, is this still the same priority that I had? Does this still need to be at the top of the list, or are there other things that have emerged that need to be kind of bumped up a few notches? And so you want to give yourself the space just to do that. You want to understand like when you're thinking about those obstacles and challenges, are there things that I can be adjusting to really set myself up even more for success in Q2? And I feel like those who do this and lean in have a better track record of accomplishing their goals generally, but also being able to make those strategic course corrections and pivots that keep them on course or put them back on track. Because the reality is, when you wait till the end of the year, most of the time you don't even realize how far off course you've gotten. And by then, it is in many instances too late to kind of really make a meaningful pivot or shift or dent into the deficit. And so it becomes the next year problem and it just keeps cycling forward. So what I want to position us to do is really to start saying like, okay, I'm going to take these data points, I'm going to look and lean in, figure out what's working, what's not, and then I'm going to recalibrate this quarter so that next quarter is executed on successfully. So we're going to talk more next week about a bit of that kind of recalibration process, and I look forward to speaking with you then.